With over 400 celebrity interviews and tons of pop culture nerdiness, Too Opinionated is a safe haven for your inner geek. Find us at meistercon.com or on YouTube under MeisterCon Pod. And please subscribe. It would really help us out. Thanks, everybody. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated. I'm really excited today. I've got singer and author Laura Bryna with me. So welcome, Laura.
Hey, guys.
So we spent like 20 minutes talking about your birds, which are awesome.
Thank you.
Probably the best birds I've had on the podcast so far.
They're crazy. Just wait. There'll be a chirp or two. Thanks for having me.
Yes. You're all. If we get stuck, we'll just there we go. That'll be the if you get stuck, just pop that bird up.
Yep. Be like, hold on.
I love the color of her.
Yes, please myth, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
So, Laura, thank you so much for doing this. I love the music. Love the music. I can't wait to get a copy of the new book for the grandkids. I told you I've been watching the grandkids today. I'm so excited to get that for them and read.
For sure.
They're at the age now where they'll sit still long enough to get through a book. You know, they get excited about sitting and reading a book.
Right. I love that. You know, and our book is called The Christmas Tradition. And, you know, we have a lot of traditions in our family and giving back is one of them. And it's not about gifts. It's about helping people, those less fortunate and through the birds. So it's kind of a fun thing. And, you know, with kids, they have such an imagination. And I've learned that through Make-A-Wish too. And there's no limitation. So it's been fun to explore this whole world with the birds and books. And I didn't know, I'm like, I'm a musician. I didn't know I was going to write books, and here it is. I'm like, okay. Yeah.
What kind of got you into that? You know, did you just decide one day I've got this idea, so I'm going to try to write it?
Well, you know, I split my time between Nashville and LA, you know, always writing and recording and different things. And just, I love the whole creative process. And I have so many people that I love to collaborate here in Los Angeles, but also in Nashville. And I have a lot of great friends here in LA that are animators and also they are they're writers for different screenwriting. They write screenplays, all these different kinds of things, which is a world that I know nothing about. And I was thinking that I'm like, you know what, I should have Alex draw a picture of the birds and Candy and Ryan, and so that I can put that in their room, because of course the birds have their own room, as one would,
as they should. Yes.
Along with shampoo and whatnot, but yeah, cockatoo shampoo. But yes, that adds to my crazy. But yeah, so in this whole process of them drawing these pictures, I was like, you know, my mom and I were sitting there talking about, she's like, these pictures are so great. You know, she's like, Laura, everybody knows you and your birds. You should do something with this. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what that is, but all right. So a girlfriend of mine in DC, we had a really fun weekend. One time she flew out to Los Angeles. We stayed in for a week, ate junk food and whatever. And we came up with fun stories about the birds. Again, I had no idea that we were authors or anything like that. And we just thought, okay, let's see what this turns into. And from there, I had taken a trip with my dad across country with the birds in my little silver Jeep from Nashville to LA. And it was one of the craziest stories. I'll tell you this. And there, my dad and I were at the Amarillo, Texas, with all the Cadillacs. We're spray painting and stopping at gas stations and Dairy Queens and and Marriott Residence Inn, all these different things, stuffing birds up our shirts to try and get them in the hotel because you're not supposed to have animals. And like literally you're standing there like this and like things are moving on your chest and it's looking a little strange. Like you got some boobs that move. Like, it's like, okay, she's got a different job. Okay, totally different story. Anyway, different show. Anyway, but, and there you go. And so, yes, so that's how it kind of turned out. And one of the greatest things I did and I've ever done in my life. And my father passed away a year and a half ago, and to drive across country with him, sorry.
Yeah, it's terrific.
The greatest things I ever did, just spending time being together. He's got a bird like on his shoulder, falling asleep, one on his lap, but and there we were just being together. Do you know what I'm saying? Not doing anything, just driving.
Yeah.
And just spending that quality time. And I think even during this pandemic, and I know it's not technically over or whatnot, but I learned a lot about life in that time, especially with my dad, because he passed away during the pandemic, not from the virus, but from a rare blood cancer, that life is too damn short and you have to live every minute of it to the fullest. And that's one of the greatest things I will have ever done, is drive across country with my dad. And so with that, Heather and I got together. We wrote a story about that Snuggles goes to Hollywood, the cockatoo back there, because she's the diva of the group. So that will be coming out later.
If I had to pick one that was the diva, she would have been it.
And she's got the crest that goes up. So, the bigger the hair, the closer to God, as you get. But as you can see right now, I'm in my slippers and my socks, so whatever.
She's got the very 80s type of hair with the big hair.
Yeah, you can't beat some big hair. I'm all about big hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Back then I had that epic 80s hair. It didn't stick around, but for that decade, it was here.
I love you. Michael, you're super fantastic. I highly enjoy you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Well, I have nothing further.
Okay, great. Yeah, we covered poop, then we covered like anything else.
Probably my favorite interview ever.
Oh, I love you more than life. See? We do what we can.
So when you were with your dad and you're smuggling the birds into the hotel, like if they make a noise, do you have to like pretend to cough?
Yeah, it's kind of a little strange. I was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And Daddy's like, okay. And when you drive into California, there's a border there that they want to make sure you're not bringing any different plants or fruits or vegetables or different things or animals. And in California, there is a parrot that is illegal, which is called the Quaker parrot, because they eat the crops and they can the power lines or whatnot. Well, I guess somebody had one or something and they got out. So they've multiplied. So as we're pulling through the station, the border, the lady's like looking through a book. She's like, you can't come through. And I was like, that's not what you're thinking. I said that what you're talking about is a Quaker parrot. This is a Senegal parrot. It's fine. She said, wow, you really know your stuff. I'm like, well, I ain't driving all this way to like be kicked out. Are you kidding?
I mean, is that a big problem how many parrots are roaming free out there?
There's a lot. There's absolutely, there's this Quaker parrot. I guess like the farmers have had problems with them and whatnot. I don't know, but I was like, no. So of course my dad had some apples and some things, so he had to throw them out. And of course we pulled through the station. So California, please do not arrest us. Of course, then my dad pulls around his chair and he's like popping grapes. I'm like, you have grapes? And he was like, they didn't see everything. I'm like, Daddy, you can't do that. He's like, it's for the birds. They need food. I'm like, okay.
I think I would have liked your dad.
Oh, my dad was one of the best men in the whole world. I mean, he was honest. He's probably the only person I know that could fire somebody and the person would still love him.
Yeah.
I mean, he just had such a gift and a way of.
That's a talent.
And he never had a bad thing to say about people. He was such a kind heart, had such a kind heart. And, he was my whole world.
What did he do for a living?
My dad was in real estate and commercial real estate. He also was in construction at first. and then got into radio. I'm from the Maryland, Washington, D.C. area. So my dad had a couple independent stations on the Eastern Shore, and he always loved communication and
Yeah, see, I would like
just
to.
loved meeting people. He was such a people person. And then he got into real estate when radio started to go a little, terrestrial radio was having some problems. So he's like, he got back into the building situation. So,
Yeah.
Now my mom carries that through with their partners and stuff. So of the company.
Oh, that's terrific.
Deeply missed. And not a day goes by that I don't think about him. And
Maryland, big rivals of West Virginia.
I know. My cousins are from West Virginia, and they went to WVU.
Really? Where do you know where they're from?
Yeah, do what?
Yeah, do you know where they're from? Are they from like the Morgantown?
Morgantown.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of my family graduated from there. Not me. I went to Marshall University, which is
okay. Yeah.
closer to home, which is why I went there. But I'm a big WVU fan.
Yeah.
So I know all about it. Takes about 2 hours to get to Morgantown from here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my gosh.
Maryland, big rival.
Big rival, I know. And my dad went to Maryland too. My grandfather was a 3-year All-American lacrosse player at University of Maryland too.
Oh,
so it's like,
nice.
So they're like, But
Did you play sports? Did you play sports growing up?
I did play sports, some lacrosse, field hockey, basketball, believe it or not, although I did go to the other basket for the other team. At one point, my parents were like, oh my God.
Well, how tall are you?
5 foot. It depends on the hair though.
Well, I didn't think you were real tall. So you were more of a point guard.
Yes, but I have like really big curly hair in real life. I just kind of like did a little like straighten and like give a little curl, did a whole little, thought it'd be a little sassy number, But so it's tall shoes, big hair. You're good to go.
I don't know if you can play in that though.
Oh, honey. You can do anything in a pair of heels.
Well, I was telling you, I was out in Austin this past weekend and I saw people walking around in the highest heels in a field. And I was like, how in the world are they not breaking an ankle? But they didn't have any trouble with it.
Wait, you know what? On our Jawbreaker video, which is coming out very soon. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Actually, the heel on my boot kind of cracked. We were like, all of a sudden we were walking along and I was getting ready to put the Jawbreaker in the guy's mouth and I went clonk and I was like, this is a different show now. Ain't no breaking me. She's got a big old crack.
Do you wear the heels on stage?
I do. Going through the pandemic, we didn't wear heels the whole time. We're wearing our slippers and our socks. And it's like, you put those on, you're like, here she comes. She is out and ready to RTR.
Well, I'm assuming you can walk in them because there's nothing worse than some of these younger girls that obviously have never worn the heels. And they really struggle with the walking. I'm like, you got to practice that.
Oh, you got to practice that. But let me explain something to you. I only have a size 4 foot. Okay. So a size 4 AAA, it's a bad scene. So when I do find a shoe that fits, I do buy it in every color. Because it's
I don't blame you
to find shoes. Although, you can get some kids shoes in there too. So a little cheaper, but like literally I can't wear that high of a shoe because I don't have enough foot to stand on. Like my mom's like, how do you even stand? I'm like, I don't know. You made them. Like I have an answer.
Well, yeah, you don't have much of a surface area.
No, it went everywhere. It went everywhere else. It went to the hair. It went to the la la la. Michael.
So did you find when you were writing the book or the books, did you find that was similar to writing music or to songwriting?
Yes and no, because with a song, it's like a condensed story.
Yeah.
In only like 2.5, 3 minutes. And then but even with children's book, again, I've learned so much through this process, because clearly I had no idea what I was doing, that it can only be like 30 pages, and you can't have that many words on a page either.
Yeah.
And really, it has to be the pictures that tell the story. So if you took the words away, what are the pictures saying? And so it's been I've kind of learned that through music. Okay, so this is what the verse looks like. This is what the chorus looks like. Can a picture, what do they say? A picture says 1,000 words. And that's so true, whether it's a children's book or a song.
Yeah.
But I love collaborating with people, because you get so many different ideas from people, and everybody has their strengths that they bring to the table. So I love the creative process. It's really fun, whether you go with the melody first or the lyrics first or whatnot.
Yes.
Everybody has a different process, and everybody brings something to the table, something different and fun.
Yeah. I would like that. I'm not creative, but if I was, that's how I would like to do it. I would like to create.
Oh, Michael, I'm sure you're creative.
No.
No. Everybody's got a creative bone in there, Michael. I'm telling you.
It may be in there, but it's hidden pretty well.
Well, we got to go find that. All
right. We'll give it a go, but prepare for a long weekend. So the new book is the Christmas
in all the wrong places.
It's the Christmas tradition, and it's coming out like on the 14th.
It is. We're debuting it at the Festival of Books in Nashville, Tennessee.
I love the art.
16th. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's
and the back is really cute. I love the back.
Yeah, I love that. I know that kids would enjoy that. I love that because it's very bright.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's all
what is the Christmas tradition about?
So it's about giving back, and it's about it really is about giving back and helping others less fortunate. And it's about giving and not receiving. And in fact, the birds forget that when it's time for them to get their presents on Christmas, they forget that, oh, we forgot that we have our presents. And they also go to a soup kitchen or a homeless shelter, and mama's performing, but they're handing out toys and they're helping to feed those less fortunate. So it's kind of a little bit of both. And a tradition in our family is to go and find out a family. When we were in school, we would find, our parents would tell us to find a family or find a student that is less fortunate. And
yeah,
see, sorry, little one is crawling up the computer, as you do.
Just wanted a little screen time.
We're it's like a jungle gym. It's like having 50 kids, as you do. And we were to go and find a child that's less fortunate in our class. And from there, we would go out and buy gifts and things like that. So we would find out as much information about them without them knowing. And then right before Christmas or Christmas Eve, we would bang on the door, put the gifts there in front of the door, and we would run. So they never knew who gave them, because again, it's not about the thank yous. It's not about that. It's about, making sure that everybody feels that love on Christmas and that Santa loves everyone. And,
I love that.
Yeah. And it was, it was such a wonderful thing that our parents, and Heather has a tradition like that too. And, where our parents, I love that my parents said that, they're like, all you have in your life is your name and your good word. And giving back is one of those things that is a part of your good word. And this book really illustrates, I hope that that's what people get, is that it really illustrates that. And it's all about giving.
Well, what a great lesson to teach with a children's book. I love that, because they're so, they're everything kind of imprints on them when they're young like that. And yeah, I love that. I love that. And good for you for carrying it forward or paying it forward from when you were little.
Thank you. Kids just have this great imagination. And for us, it was always something where And that's where I got involved with the Air National Guard. I got involved with Make-A-Wish and things like that. I wanted to continue that. Both my parents had worked with the Make-A-Wish Foundation, and it was something that was so important to me. And I love giving back. I don't know, if that's why I was put on this earth, to give back through a song or to a children's book or whatever it may be, or stuffing envelopes for Make-A-Wish, whatever that is, then that's what I'm here to do. And when somebody says, oh, Laura, like during the pandemic, Stars Are Falling was a song that who knew that this was going to happen, but was very healing to a lot of first responders. And they reached out and said, hey, I just got home from work from the hospital. I've got all my garb on. I'm throwing it in the wash, but I wanted you to know that I was listening to your song and I watched the video, and I watch it several times a week. And it just is that positive message. And, as an artist and as a songwriter, I didn't write that song, but as an artist, I call myself an interpreter of song.
Yeah.
Then you've done your job. If you know that you've touched one person's heart, that's everything.
That's right.
And especially during a very dark time for everyone, that my song helped get people through, and people that are heroes that are making a difference. I'm just giving them a sense of enjoyment to just listen to songs and to give them a way to escape the yuckiness that's going on.
I love how emotional you are about it. That's awesome.
Sorry, thank you. I do get very much.
Well, I'm that way too. I'm that guy that cries at everything. Everything gets to me.
Yeah.
With that, but in a good way. It's not, I'm not upset all the time. It's a good cry.
Right. No, but I think too, like I've learned a lot too, that it's okay, especially with the things with my dad. People have said to me, especially the Brainiacs on our lives, when we do our lives on TikTok and Instagram and things like that, they have said, Laura, because they've been with me through when my father passed away, and they're like, Laura, it's okay not to be okay. And I thought, well, no,
I like that
for my mom, and I have to do this, and then, and all, and it's like, but it's okay. I call them suck moments. It's okay to have a suck moment and to cry your eyes out. And, the birds are always amazing. But I took care of my dad during everything, and through hospice care and all of that, and was administering morphine and all these things. And, it's a lot to do. And birds were just there. Like I could just sit there and cry all over them, and that was okay. And the Brainiacs were always there for me too. And it's okay, Laura, not to be okay. You don't have to be strong all the time. You have to let it out. And I've learned that too. You have to have a moment. You have to talk about it. You have to let it out.
Well, yeah, you don't want to hold all that in, because it's going to come out at some point.
This is like a therapy session.
I know. It's really good. So when my son and I started this podcast, we started as just a Facebook page. It was called MeisterCon. All right. It's Meister from Burgermeister, Meisterburger from the old, Santa Claus is coming to town. And then I'm a Star Trek fan. So con.
Right.
And I told him, I was like, we got to have a name that nobody else will have. So we MeisterCon. But so he named the fans of our work Meisterchondriacs.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I know. So we have that in common, because when you said that, I was like, oh yeah, that's what we call it.
See, Michael, we're two peas in a pod.
I know. It's pretty good. So are the birds going to be in like a series of books?
There are a series. We've got Snuggles Goes to Hollywood, and we've got Harmony for President. Harmony Runs for President of the Birdabon Society, which is actually interesting because my great-grandmother she has passed away. She was 100, but she was dear friends with the Audubon, with James Audubon. And so she had some of the original paintings and drawings.
Oh, wow.
And so I thought, we need to add the Birdabon and Society in here somewhere. Because, then you got all those trademark infringements and all those things. You're like, So, but yeah, the birds they go and stay at different places, and like they, sweet tweets. They have sweet tweets. Oh, Imagine this. They just appeared. Here's Snuggles goes to Hollywood.
Yeah, I love that. I love how colorful.
Thank you. And then she's on her Walk of Fame, she got her star. And then here's Harmony for president.
Yeah, that's terrific.
Kind of fun.
Yeah, I love those.
Thank you. Little One's the newest addition to the group. So we're working on that needs to be illustrated, but it's Little One gets lost at the zoo.
That's what you call her, just Little One?
Well, you know how it's just like kids, or you call them all different names. So she becomes Wiggly Bear because when she walks, she wiggles. So she's like Bear, Wiggly Bear, sweet girl. And then Snuggles is like Nana, Nuna. I don't know. They just come.
Yeah, you get names. You get a little nickname for pet names.
And then you talk to them in the weirdest voice, like, "Hi, oh my god," and you're like, "Why do I sound like that?"
I know, we're all ridiculous. Like if you're looking outside in, we all look ridiculous around little kids or pets.
Right.
But in where it's just your group, it's fine.
Right.
It's
like and you're right. But to other people, you're like a bunch of wackadoodles. But whatever.
Yeah. Do you put people that you know into the books?
My parents are in them. So actually it's my dad is in my mom is in the Christmas book, but she's not in the other ones because it all just really started off with my dad. And my dad always wore these black sweatpants with a white shirt and the white long sleeve shirt and a white baseball hat. So he could never get sun because of the different the rare blood cancer that he had. So he always had this white shirt on. And it's interesting, like Alex, who's Gunderson, who's an amazing illustrator. And we're just dear friends. And he's worked on from things from The New Lady and the Tramp to different Star Wars. I mean, he's just really, really talented. And he's, he got to talk to my dad on a Zoom and on a phone call. And he said, God, he's like, Laura, and when my dad passed away, we were writing the new book with Little One. He said, Laura, he's like, I feel like I know your dad through these books. And I was like, it just was so touching.
Great.
It's like, I know your dad so well, it's just they've taken on a life of their own.
Yeah. Well, that has to make you feel good because obviously you've been able to convey a little bit of the essence of your father. So that's really cool.
Yeah. And like, it's the trials and tribulations that we all go through life, but as kids go through life, like as Snuggles goes to Hollywood, she's like, can I do this? I don't know if I can. Am I really that great? And she's preparing for her big debut and all these things. And then Harmony is, runs for president of this Burdabon Society. He's like, but the president of the United States says that it wants him to be president of this Burdabon Society. Can I do it's it's the things of second guessing and having the courage and the confidence that you can do this. It's like that totally the little engine that could. I think I can, that kind of thing. So I really hope that people enjoy these books and that they see the message and they end up falling in love with the birds.
Yeah, I think they will. I think that's so terrific. Have you thought about writing like a more of a novel type of book?
Oh, Michael, you're getting a little crazy. I mean, that's way down the road.
Well, I was thinking, like, how about a singer who has, for some reason, is not able to sing anymore? Something has happened. They can't sing anymore. So they become a private detective and the birds help them solve the crimes.
Oh, that's a good idea.
There you go.
When do you want to get together and write it?
Well, I told you I'm going to be out in LA. So maybe
done. You got to bring
do a
the
little
junk
brainstorming.
You got to brainstorm. You got to bring junk food. That's how it all comes to you. It's good junk
food. Well,
yeah,
you have me at junk food.
Can't beat some good junk food. I'm really into it. You know what I just discovered, Michael, that I didn't know that I loved is fried pickles.
Really?
I'm like so late to the train. I don't know why. I didn't get on that train. I was like, I just discovered them. I'm like,
what's fried? It's got a little sour in there.
It does.
I mean, it sounds.
And then they give you that like that chipotle aioli sauce or something.
Yeah.
Like,
They get a little
darn
spice
soul.
too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Side note,
West
so-
Virginia boy, so we know a little bit about fried.
Well,
whatever.
us Marylanders, we know about our crabs.
Oh yeah, I know. Yes, good crabs. My brother lived in DC for several years. So, yeah, the
You put
food
Old
out
Bay
there
on
is
everything.
Yeah, pretty
It's
good.
like another food group.
So we got to talk a little bit about your music because it's terrific. Absolutely love your voice.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's really good. So is there a song coming out that's tied to this newest book?
There is. It's called Wish List. It's a Christmas song. In fact, we're finishing the music video as we speak. But yeah, it's about
Are the birds in the video?
They are not.
Okay.
But they've made
I bet they're not happy about that.
Harmony's in the Make-A-Wish video, Snuggles in the I Don't Have a Thing to Wear video. So they make their appearances.
Okay.
It's kind of like a Where's Waldo? You got to find them in there. But yes, it's such a fun up tempo. You know, the Universal had said to us, they're like, Laura, we need a Christmas song. Mind you, they told us last year in October. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's a little quick. That's a quick
Original would be
turnaround.
preferable. I'm like, okay, so I'm just going to pull that out of my tush.
Yeah.
So really, it takes a moment to write it, then get it recorded, and all of the above. So we decided, what, we're going to wait, and we'll bring it out with the Christmas book too. So it's a real fun up tempo. It's, Christmas cheese and a lot of fun. So
wow, that's the best type of Christmas song.
You can't beat some good Christmas cheese. I
I love the up tempo Christmas songs.
Yeah, it's one of those feel good.
Yeah.
I feel like it's catchy and fun. And yeah, I think I hope people will love it. It's really, it's a ball of fun. And I think Taillight, who directed the video, Justin Key and his team they're absolutely amazing. And they just had such a vision for this video.
Yeah.
And they took it in a different direction that you wouldn't have even guessed. I don't know how, like you sit there, I guess, like coming up with books, I guess it's similar to the same thing as coming up with a treatment for a music video, but they're so creative. And they've been so wonderful to work with. Like we did Body First with them, the video, and also Jawbreaker. So it's been neat. Like you're getting to see a lot of different sides of me.
But that's probably fun, right?
Yeah. It's fun to play me, but in a different character, me. Yeah. Kind of thing. So
is Jawbreaker's coming out on the 14th as well?
It is, and it's a sassy one.
Yeah, what's that one about?
So I co-wrote that song along with Wish List and Body First. We with my producer Damon Sharp and Eric Santacola, and I was like, you know what? We need a sassy, fun, in your face, and kind of an FU kind of song. But something girl power, women's, all of the above, and just, and it's funny because once we wrote it and kind of laid down just the demo version of it, I was kind of like, if I only had one song to sing the rest of my life, it would be this, because I feel like it sums up everything that I am. I love fun. I love attitude. I love sassiness. And they did an awesome job with this video. It's kind of a combination of, which I didn't even know there was a movie Jawbreaker, but there was.
Yeah. And it's a bunch of sassy women.
It is big cult following. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's good.
Then it's kind of a little Moulin Rouge meets a little Roadhouse. Kind of, Coyote.
That sounds awesome.
Like Cage, all of the above. And we did it in Nashville at an American Legion, and it was just fun, awesome. And there's a really cool car in it. I'll just leave that to you.
Oh,
if you're a car person, which I happen to love cars.
What's the decade of the car? Is it 60s, 70s? What are we talking about?
60s.
70s? 60s. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's all original parts. The owner actually signed the inside of the car, not the owner, the gentleman that made the car.
Really? Oh my
signed
gosh.
the inside of the car. and it's got its original owner and all original parts.
I think those are the best vehicles, is that
All the history in
60s,
there,
early
like
70s.
all the history, and he's got all the papers and all that stuff. But the song is out now. Yay. And it went #1 in the UK, which is so crazy. I can't even believe it. It's only been out a week and it went #1. So that's really amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And, have you, like on social media, are you getting a lot of positive feedback on it?
Yeah, a lot, like from with TikTok, people are doing a lot of videos, and Spotify, people are streaming and streaming and streaming.
It's exciting.
And they're adding it to their playlists and things like that. So it's really, and Shazamming, and it's so fun to see how people are reacting to the song, and especially on TikTok, we're doing glow up transitions. Like I did one which we're going to be posting soon, but I'm like in my shower cap and like in my towel, like I just got out, and then all of a sudden there I am. We just did a performance on WSMV in Nashville. Yeah. So, and we did the song on there, and then I appear on stage. So it's kind of fun. Like everybody's doing their own thing. Like then we're going to do one of like just like childhood pictures, and now look where we are now. So it's just different transitions. So Michael, I'm expecting your TikTok video, your glow.
Okay. That'll be the first one, but okay.
Done, and doner.
I'm on there. I'll post video clips from the show, but I'm not confident enough to, do the creative again, not creative. So do the create. There's some
Pinky swear.
All right.
Okay, I should do it this way.
I know I did it backwards. I thought maybe that would get me out of it, but you caught me.
No. Ain't no breaking you. You're a real tough nut to crack.
Yeah, I love your voice. I think it's got a little bit of it kind of harkens back to the country I grew up on.
Oh, I love that.
If that makes sense. It's just a little bit. I can just hear it. And then you combine it with today's type of country, pretty good.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. Like if I was an artist, like when I was younger, we all kind of have that dream of being a singer at some point.
Right.
And I was like, oh, it'd be really cool to hear your song on the radio. Except we don't really do that anymore. So social media is kind of the new, that's the new radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although so was it cool when you started to hear some of that feedback back?
Yes. You know what? Especially like I was saying during the pandemic with Stars Are Falling with the first responders, but one of and that was an amazing moment, but also taking something horrible, but turning it into a good thing. But I got to hear Hometown Heroes when I was in Knoxville on Mickey Tyson, the Air Guard base. And, and there I was we were in a C-130. They were doing some mechanical work, and they were showing us what they were doing. And, I was part of the Air National Guard's advertising campaign, and Hometown Heroes was their theme song. And there I was, and all of a sudden they have the radio on there in Knoxville. And it was absolutely incredible. I'm there with the general, with the colonel, who actually, I love. That's the one thing I love about our military. It's that whole esprit de corps, that love of your country, love of your people. And I got to share that moment with them when the song came on the radio.
Wow.
And there I was singing this song about these amazing men and women who allow me to live this dream, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. And I got to hear that song with them. That's a magical moment.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's the dream.
That's the dream.
Yeah. I need to play that one. My son-in-law is in the Air National Guard. I need to play that.
Oh, wow. Nice. Tell him thank you for his service.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
It was his children that I was babysitting before we came.
Oh, okay. Fun.
That's because you know how that goes. I've been at a music festival all weekend. The moment I'm home, everybody's calling, hey, could you watch the kids?
Could you watch the kiddies? We got to get out of town too. See ya.
So what, when you were growing up, what made you want to get into the music industry?
Gosh, well, growing up, my parents had this jukebox and they had all this music on there from the 50s and 60s, which is really funny because people are like, you are nowhere near old enough, but I know all these 50s and 60s songs.
Yeah, I love that those decades of music.
But you know what?
Terrific.
Those songs stand the test of time. They're still
They do.
popular today. Everybody knows them. I mean, in fact, Wish List, we took a 50s, 60s beat, and that's what it is. You know, it's that throwback kind of thing. You'll hear it with Meghan Trainor. You'll hear it with Ed Sheeran. You'll hear it in country song. I mean, you know, all of that is a throwback to that time. It's just, and let's not lie, I would have been great in a poodle skirt. Okay, really great. I mean,
Poodle skirt needs to make a comeback.
You're preaching to the choir. I totally agree. That was amazing, you know, and corsets and all, like, and the fabulous hair and all that stuff. But anyway,
Yeah.
But yeah, so it really was. There we were, my sisters and we're all whole mixed marriage, death, divorces, all that kind of shenanigans. All of us were just a big old family melting pot. And so I was the lead singer and my sisters were my backup dancers and singers. And so we thought we were so amazing. And we were charging my parents, I think, 25 cents a ticket. And mind you, my parents saw
that's
the
a
show
good deal.
like 4 or 5 times a day. Like they were like, oh my God, we're gonna like not make it till like tomorrow. We have to watch the same show over again. So we just thought we were great, and that's where it went. And then, you know, going to school, you're doing plays and things like that. And it just kind of took off from there, and you get that bug. I mean, I've never done drugs or anything like that, but I understand that high. And so it's kind of like one of these things where it's like, hi, Laura, come get me. You want me? Come on. You know, and then sometimes you go, "Wah." There's like a bad moment too. And then you're like, it's like, it makes those suck moments, as I call them, great ones. But you know, it's really fun. What I've learned through all of this process too, through this whole creative thing too, is like you were talking about, chondriacs, you know, the Brainiacs. I've learned a lot about, in the Brainiacs, we like to include everybody. We don't want people to feel left out.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, there's so much alienating today with different social groups or whatever, you know, whatever anybody's preference is, or ethnicities, or whatever it may, religious preference, whatever it may be. And one of our Brainiacs was so great that Alex, came on to one of our lives. And what we do, every couple of weeks, we do a live where everybody can come on. We take turns. Everybody comes on and shows their talent, whether it's reading a monologue, they want to do a dance, they want to sing, they tell jokes, whatever it may be, or they just want to come and talk. You know, sometimes we've had Brainiacs come out on our lives, or they, you know, somebody's come out and said, you know what, I'm pregnant, I'm so excited, and how do I tell my boyfriend? All these, you know, it's really, we've created such a special space where people feel comfortable, they feel safe. It's a positive space. And
sounds like a community.
Huh?
It sounds like a community.
It's very much a community. And Alex came on, she sang a song and she was like, but I also want to do sign language to it. And I was like, I love this. We need to include the sign language community too with our Brainiacs. And so we've done a sign language video for Body First, for Jawbreaker and Wish List, because we want everybody to feel a part of that. And the actress, Raquel McPeak, I absolutely adore her. She's fantastic. And we found her through our Brainiacs and whatnot. And she, and through a wonderful group called Sign With Me.
Yeah.
And she just really, not just my version of the song, she brought it to a whole different, like she made it a whole different song, like it's its own thing. And she's just an incredible performer. She brings, every lyric has its own meaning. And I've just learned a whole lot about this community, and it's all about including. You know, my brother suffered a brain aneurysm when he was younger, and that's how I got into Make-A-Wish. He was in a coma for 6.5 months.
Oh, wow.
But he came out and he's alive and well and doing great. And, you know, so it's including everybody. You know, we live in a world where people can feel so alone. And nobody wants to feel alone. Everybody wants to feel included and feel like they have their place. And so that's something that's been really important to me and the Bryniacs. And we get each other through the good times, the bad times, the ugly times. We're there for one another. And it's a big community, exactly what you're talking about.
I love that. I love that. Are you touring, or do you have plans to tour?
Oh, we want to tour because I'm ready to feel some hugs. Can I tell you, that pandemic, I was like, I need some hugs. It was
tough.
It was a tough time. I mean, my arms don't even fit around the whole thing. Like I can't even, and then I got hair the size of like Timbuktu. So it's like, can't even get my hands around that either. I'm like, I need some hugs. So I can't wait to tour. So keep streaming and pumping up Jawbreaker and whatnot, and we'll be coming to you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you prefer, I'm assuming, performing live or being in studio?
I love live.
Yeah.
You cannot beat that connection you have. I don't like to call them fans because they're Bryniacs. We're family. You can't beat that connection. You just can't. You can't, as much as you want to create it in a studio, you can't. You just to see well, and I've played huge arenas. I've done USO tours, and I've also done cafes. It doesn't matter to create that intimate connection with somebody way in the back row or this person that's right here in a cafe. It doesn't matter. You create that relationship, and there's nothing better than that in the world than to have that special moment.
I love that. I love that. Yes. I love how connected you are with your fans. I think that's so terrific, because as a fan, I'm a fan. That's all we want. We just want that little bit, to feel a little bit connected.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I want it too.
Yeah.
As the other side, I want it too. You know what? I have a different job. I pick my nose just like everybody else does.
Yeah.
Just a different job, and that's it.
Do you play any instruments?
So I'm learning how to play the harmonica. I'm so excited about this.
Oh, yeah, nice.
So yeah, I got a ways to go though. I was like, look, I just want to be able to play on my. I don't need to be some like Fingers Taylor or Jelly Roll Johnson. I just want to, I want to be able to be like, yeah.
See, harmonica is one that if you're good, if you can play it, it's awesome. But if you can't play it,
it's really bad.
It's really bad.
It's really, and like you really gotta. The only problem is it does mess up your lip gloss.
Oh yeah.
Then you got to reapply. I'm like, yo, hold on. I know, world problems, right, Michael? I know.
I'm sure the fans will wait. Just hold on. Gotta fix everything.
I gotta fix everything. Hold on.
Yeah.
I will say though, God, we were I was out with Clint Black, love him, and there we were in Hanford, California, and I was opening for him. And I come out on stage, and I can tell you exactly what I was wearing. I had these jeans that had LB on my tush, and they were these crystal jeans that were very fun. And I'm talking about how we co-wrote the Make-A-Wish song and my involvement with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And the whole band is like laughing, snickering. I'm like teary-eyed because I'm talking about like, it's a very touching moment, a touching song. And then people are like, you hear people in the audience like, and I'm like, what is going on? And then finally somebody comes up to the stage, honey, your fly's undone. And I'm like, oh,
none of them could have told you that.
And I'm looking at them like, yo. And they're like, my steel player's like, sorry. And I'm like, all of a sudden I go, all of me, why not? I mean, what do you do? What do you do?
Just go with it.
Thank God I had a bodysuit on. And so it was just, I was like, excuse me, so sorry, I was hot before I came on stage.
Yeah, you have to just go with it at that point.
You have to go with it. What are you going to do?
Well, you're either going to let it ruin your evening or you're just going with it.
Yeah, you got to just roll.
Yeah, you have toured with some big names.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Clint Black.
I love him. He's great. And I love his wife too. I love them together. It's such a fun love story. I'm such a sucker for that like a hopeless romantic.
You're a
Like,
romantic.
yeah, like that's how with Body First, I turned to Damon, who's also my producer, but also co-writer. I'm like, we need a love song. I need some schmaltz. I need some yummy, fuzzy, feel good something. Although it came out a little sexier than I thought it was gonna be a love song, but whatever, you know, you can't help what blows out.
Yeah. Sexy love song still works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
like
Laura,
Let's Make
this has been terrific. I absolutely huge fan of yours. I can't wait to get the book.
Yay, I can't wait for you to get the book.
Yeah. That's so exciting. I got to go back and I got to get the whole series now.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna slowly. Well, I don't know how slowly, but we're gonna leak them out. You know. So
Yes.
I'm learning a whole lot about this. I didn't know anything about books at all. You know. I mean, I feel like my life's a tree. I'm like, oh, here's another opportunity. Here's another opportunity. Like I didn't even know. As a musician, I'm like, oh, we're gonna host television shows and we're gonna do books and I'm like, what? Okay.
They'll have to tide me over until we can get, you know, our detective series out there.
Oh, I'm on it. I'm going to bring you some fried pickles and we're going to write that series. Done.
I have a feeling there's going to be more eating than writing getting done.
And there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I can come up with an idea or two, but actually doing anything with it, that's a different story.
See, Michael, you are creative.
I'm an idea guy. They may not be
that's
good.
That's where it starts with an idea.
That's what they say, but I don't know.
Can't beat it.
We're going to find out.
Yes,
maybe
we are.
The fried pickles has been the missing ingredient.
Could be, you know.
Might spark something.
That's some yummy stuff, dude. Oh my God.
So a couple of things, Laura, before we wrap up. So let's start with the new book. So where can we find the Christmas tradition? Where can we find that?
You can find it at laurabryna.com. And we will be at the Southern Book Festival in Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah. But you can definitely get it on our website and stuff like that. And also we'll be in Austin the beginning of November. I believe it's the 4th and 5th. But yeah, we're coming around. We're going to do a book tour and everything. So come and get it. And I'd love to meet you. I'd love to meet anybody. So I love meeting people. So please let me know what you think. If you love the book or just a fan of music or a fan of mine, or, you know, be a part of our Bryniacs. I'm all about it.
Yeah. I love that you've got a name for the fans. That's awesome.
We're a big family. That's what it's all about. Because you know what? I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. So yeah, that's terrific. So the new song is Jawbreakers, right? Or Jawbreaker. Yeah. Where can we find it at? And it comes out on the 14th. That's the video comes out on the 14th.
Oh, the video. So the song's out. The song's out.
Oh yeah, Spotify, stream. Yeah, we got, you know, Amazon, Apple, laurabryna.com. You can do it all of the above. You can check it out on all of our socials, Laura Bryna, Facebook, Instagram. We got TikTok. We got them all, you know.
Well, that was my next question is, you know, where can we find you on social media?
You can find us everywhere. You know, I'll, of course, I always like to say the Insta tweet or the Book of Face, you know, but it is like Facebook, although what is it, Meta? They've all changed. You know, you never know. You got to keep up. TikTok, Instagram, we got it all. So definitely stay in touch. I love hearing from everybody. And, you know, we try to respond right away. So, but yeah, I look forward.
I like that. You actually interact.
Yes, we do. That's important, you know, I mean, we can talk about personal things. We can talk about all of the above, you know, it's again, on our lives and things like that. I mean, people have come out and said, hey, you know, I can't talk to my parents, but I feel comfortable here. And, you know, which makes me tear up because, you know, that's so nice that all of us have created this safe space where we all feel comfortable and it's positive. And you know what, if somebody's having a suck moment, we lift them right back up. It's like being a good bra. Gotta be there, supportive, you know, you're there. When you're feeling low, we pick you right back up. You know, when you're surrounded by love.
Yeah, I really do. I love that you're so positive with everything. You interact with the fans. You're paying all of this goodwill forward. You absolutely deserve to get a ton of it back.
Thank you. You know what? I love helping. So I love just helping people and making people smile. So if I've done that, then I've done my job and I've done my dream.
Plus, you're hanging out with birds. It's pretty epic.
Oh my God, she's been gnawing the whole time on my bed. I'm like, I hope you haven't. I'm like, hi. And then I'm like, oh, sorry, one's crawling on my thing, the other thing.
Well, thank you so much, Laura. You have to come back.
I would love to. Yes. Let's
We got to
it.
do this again, whether it's the next book or the next song, whatever it is. You got to come back.
I would love that. And let's meet up in Lala.
Yeah, let's do that. That'll be fun. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be we're going to be hanging out around Halloween. That should be interesting.
The happy Halloweeny.
All right, hold on 1 second. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was so.
Well, that was just a blast. Laura Bryna, absolutely loved her. You know, it's just so talented. If you haven't checked out Jawbreaker yet, go and check it out. It's terrific. I absolutely love her voice, and I've seen the video. It's a blast. Yeah, so October 14th, definitely check that out. Do yourself a favor. Order a copy of The Christmas Tradition. I don't think you'll regret it. I can't wait to get it. I love the art. It's so colorful, just like her birds are. And it has such a good, positive, giving message. I just love that. One of the favorite interviews I've done in a while. You know, it's always fun to talk to somebody that's just putting out positive energy into the world. And Laura actually absolutely does that. I just really enjoyed that. And I hope you guys did too. If you'd like to help us out here at Too Opinionated, it's really easy to do. You know, you can go to our YouTube channel, MeisterCon Pod, subscribe. It's free. Gives you access to close to 500 interviews. So I know you'll find just a ton of great musicians, actors, directors, authors, everything from the entertainment industry is on there. You'll find some people that you're either fans of or you'll become fans of. So definitely check that out. If you're a music lover, especially, we have had just the best up and coming artists, people that are so talented that maybe not as well known as they should be. Some of them have gotten much more well known since we did the interviews. But go through our interviews. You'll find a ton of just absolutely just terrific musicians, artists to listen to. So check that out. You can find all today. We put out episode 468. So we're closing in on that 500th episode, and you can find all of those audio and video on our website, meistercon.com. So definitely check that out. If we're doing anything in studio, if we're going on location, if we're covering a convention, if we're traveling, if I'm going out to LA, all that'll be on the website, meistercon.com. So please help us out by visiting. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, bye everybody.